So today, what am I going to actually talk about today? That's a very good question because, oh my god, I just have... you wake up and you've got zero energy. Absolutely zero. I was so productive yesterday with all manner of things with the LMC site going on. And I'm slowly clawing my way through all the stuff in WordPress pending that needs to be confirmed and reworked. Or binned or what have you, and it's just like I did so many posts yesterday and just got into that in a nice rhythm, and I ended up sleeping for 10 hours, and which is a very long time for me, and I just no energy at all. There's stuff I did want to talk about as well before next week's show, which will be an LMC cast. One way or the other is going to be an LMC cast next week. And what was it? Oh yeah, that was it. So, the LMC Discord, which I invite you to join, by the way. There's good people on there. There was a discussion in the Sega part of it. Well, I'll say a discussion. It was more like an argument, really. Between Titan's Greed and Double Cross about Big the Cat. So, yeah, I have thoughts on Big the Cat. People won't agree with my thoughts on Big the Cat, but I should probably explain. Big the Cat is... So Big the Cat, the character. I have no problem with Big the Cat, the character. Big is your everyman. Big is the guy in the wrong place at the wrong time. Average Joe. There is nothing essentially special about Big the Cat. He's just the guy who's going around doing his own life, doing his own thing, and keeps finding himself in ridiculous circumstances. Chronicles did a great job of giving him an interesting personality, and it sort of touched on the thing that Knuckles the Echidna has in the Sonic Boom series. Whereas, you think this guy's kind of dumb because of the way he speaks and some of the things he comes out with, but actually he's smarter than, you give him credit for. Because he's not smart on certain things, but there's other real world stuff that he does and has been doing, which means that he's a smarter character in that sense. He's more sort of real world savvy in a way than he is for anything else. So we were talking about, the conversation was about cameos, and there's obviously a festival going on at the minute in Japan, and Sonic Channel did a very beautiful piece of artwork. Very beautiful. Most beautiful piece of artwork I've seen from in a very long time, of Shadow and Maria on Ark looking sort of up, sitting on an observatory deck or something, looking up at the stars, and Maria being all excited and trying to explain stuff, and then just randomly in the corner, in as a constellation, is the word big. And the question was being asked was whether or not this was, a bit too much. And I will go back to what I said previously on other channels, that I don't like Big, not because of the character, but because of how he's used and the manner in which he's used. There's nothing essentially wrong about him, just popping up in the background here and there. Was that needed? No. Things can be left as they are, and they don't need, as has been the case over the last 5 years, everything does not need Big shoved into it, shoehorned into it. We've not got to force the issue of a cameo or appearance or a reference, and that's what it's been, forced. A lot of the time there's no subtlety, there's a lot of time there's no purpose in it. If you're doing something for the sake of doing it, then it loses how special it is. Big is this character, that his whole thing was, to quote Titan Creed, his entire existence is a meme. And, well, memes, if you force it, then, the enjoyment and the what makes it what it is lost. And the reason I don't like Big and how he's being used comes from this is the bit where you'll get upset. This is all your fault in the community, because you inadvertently, yes, made it so that Big becomes a marketing tool. He stopped being a character and became a marketing tool. And that happened, and everyone seems to have forgotten this. This happened because of the aftermath of, as I said before, Sonic fan base is on a wheel. Everything is on a giant wheel, and that wheel is constantly turning. And depending upon where that wheel is, a game is deemed good, bad, what have you. And in the same way, the Sega and Sonic fanbase kind of flip-flops from one part to the other. So a while ago, sort of post 06, we had the thing where people saying, couldn't we just have Sonic on his own, and there's too many friends and everything else. And then we got, timing because this wasn't intended, but we had Sonic and the Secret Rings, and then it was just Sonic. And one of the things that people said at the time was, hey, that's cool, we got ourselves a Sonic only game. Then we had a couple of sort of things where it was, you could only play as Sonic, and that includes Unleashed, because it's still Sonic even if it's the Werehog. And then people started saying, hey, I'd really kind of like to play as, at least bring back Tails. At least bring back Tails. And then it started snowballing, and then we had instances with many characters again where you could play as them, thanks to the racing games and things like that. So then characters became playable again, and then you got another couple of years, and that wheel's turned. And Big became the symbol. Big the cat became the symbol for everything that represents. This was in the media as well, I should point out. Big became a focal point of everything that people meant when they say Sonic and his many, many friends. So many friends and blah, and it wasn't helped by the fact that they kept bringing in every new game had a new character in it. We went through that period of Sonic Adventure 2's kind of to blame by this, because it started it by introducing free characters, and then Heroes went and introduced or reintroduced free characters. You've got Advance 2 bringing in Cream, and you've got 06 bringing in Silver, and Rush bringing in Blaze, and Rush Adventure bringing in Marine, and it just kept going. It just kept going with these additional characters, and people turned around and said, the wheel turned, and enough's enough. We want to go back to, we want to get rid of these characters. And then Sonic Team turned around and said, yeah, you know what? We won't do that anymore. Izuka basically said, and the Sonic Team said, we'll effectively retire Big. We'll make it so you won't see to take Big away, and there's nothing offensively wrong with Big. Like I say, he's just an ordinary guy. He has no special powers, and in a way, that is what makes him special. He can't throw fire. He can't lift things with his mind. He can't run fast or jump high. He's just a guy with a fishing rod, for God's sake, who wants to find his friend. Then what happened? When, after everyone was saying, yeah, let's get rid of all these friends, and the community was saying this too, Let's dial back these friends. Let's focus it down, because that's one of the problems why the game quality is so bad. It's because we're not focusing on the core mechanics, and we're not focusing on Sonic and Tails and Knuckles and Eggman, and everyone's sort of aiming, I guess, and then they just went, ooh, yeah, we can, yeah, just focus on those. Never mind everyone else. Just focus on that, and then the games will be good. And then Sonic Team went, okay, we'll stop it. We'll get rid of Big. And then the community turned around and just went, wait, you're taking something away from us? How dare you take something away from us? That's ours. We love Big. Sonic Team going, wait, hang on a minute, but I thought you said that. No, never mind that. You can't start taking characters away from the series. No, we want Big back. We want more Big. And Sonic Team went, you sure about that? And the community went, yeah, give us Big. We want Big. And suddenly Big was the most bloody popular character in the series for no other reason than they threatened to take him away. And then, this is Sega America's fault, unsurprisingly, suddenly you had Big absolutely everywhere and in everything, and everyone lapped it up and went, yay, because Big's back. Big hadn't actually gone anywhere, but never mind, yay Big. And then Big became a marketing tool, and the addition of Big into things became something they could promote and something they could hang a hat on in terms of interaction with the community, and then it lost its specialty. That's when it became ordinary and unimportant, and Big as a character got diminished because Big stopped being the everyman character. Big just became a background joke. And that's all because you guys didn't want him to go away, and then was like, we want more of him. So when that wheel turns again, and it's been turning for a while, and you come to the same realization that, we've got a bit too much of this big fella now. Let's just stop putting him in everything. As sweet a character as he is, let's stop putting him in everything. And you turn round and say to Sega and Sonic Team, yeah, can we stop that now? Just remember, it's all your fault in the first place that this occurred.